Okay, so this COVID-19 has brought up two very, very important factors. And the first one is that you are not free. That's what it's taught us. The second thing is that if we are not if we are not participating in this system disappears. Because this system is built on all of us together. We are all participating in this Ponzi scheme that we are actually doing it to ourselves. Okay? Our reality works on the economy. And what's an economy? The economy is nothing more than an instrument that is used to manipulate human emotions. That's all it is. Flatliner. Nothing more. An instrument that is used to manipulate human emotions because it's ran on money. And what is money? Money is nothing more than an account of value. And what is value? Value shows us the usefulness of something or the lack thereof. And so when we start looking at what's useful and what's not, then we begin to determine what value is. And so when you're looking at the economy, all of these different instruments that they're selling us, okay, and we see the fluctuation of change in price. You see, none of those instruments are fluctuating. They don't change. A block of gold does not fluctuate. And therefore, the value of that block of gold never changes. It's the same value that it had thousands of years ago when they first found that gold. The only variable that changes in this delusional construct is the human being himself. When you're looking at the fluctuation of price change, all you're looking at is the fluctuation of your own emotional expression. Change in price is nothing more than the interest of human beings. The more we get excited and worked up about something, the higher the price goes. And we're willing participants in this. We cause prices to increase, making our lives much more difficult to acquire the things we want to get because the prices are high. We allow them to manipulate our emotions and manipulate how we even see value. Most of us don't even know what true value is. True intrinsic value is something that is useful to you. It's shelter, food, weapons, something that can protect you, and clothing. Money has no real intrinsic value. Its only value is in its usefulness and its buying power. That's it. But you cannot use money in the jungle. You cannot use it on a desert. And if you have no one to share your money with, it's valueless. So in essence, money has no real intrinsic value. And here's the crazy thing. We chase money, which has zero value, so that we can get it and go buy something that has real value. And as a result, what we find ourselves doing is chasing money. And when you chase money, inevitably, you're going to leave behind the things that are valuable because you're going to be off chasing money. This is why we have global warming. This is why a lot of times we spend not enough time with our families and our friends and our loved ones because we're chasing money. You can be right there right there present physically with the people, but you're not there because you're off chasing the money. And so we don't understand what the true value is. Another word for value is currency. Why currency? Because currency is the electrical current, the living force that runs through your veins in your body that keeps you alive, that animates you. That is the only real value in the universe, that life force. This is why they call money currency, because they're not talking about the paper money. They're talking about the life force with inside of you. That's what they're talking about, because that's what gives it value. Okay? So value It's currency. Without currency, there could be no life. Without life, there could be no usefulness for anything. If nothing is useful, there's no value. And if there's no value, there's no money. So when we're talking about value, we're talking about if we want to go in depth and talk about the only true value that's in the universe, that's the living currency that flows through the veins of every living organisms. And this is why living organisms is at the top of the pyramid when it comes to value, because all of the other material substances are fixed and can't produce any type of change. Therefore, a commodity cannot change in value. The price of silver doesn't go up and down. The price of gold doesn't go up and down. The price of copper doesn't go up and down. The only thing that goes up and down is your emotions. And what controls the emotions? The moon. The term money comes from the word moon, because it's an expression of the energy within the universe that causes agriculture and things to grow. Thus, we have money that causes our economy to grow. This is why when we buying things, they're done on emotional decisions, because money is a projection of your emotional construct. Okay, so if we aren't participating in this system and we're disciplined, then we can influence the entire value of the system. But instead of us taking control of it, we allow ourselves to be controlled by the narrative. So they're telling us what's valuable and what's not. And a lot of times, most people buy shit that has no value because they don't know what true value is. They got you so mixed up. They've mixed the value up with, nowadays, name brands is somehow considered valuable. That's an abstract thing. How the fuck is that valuable? It's not useful to you in no way. But, you allow the price to fluctuate upwards so high because they then tricked you and manipulated you into believing that somehow this name is more valuable than the next one. And so every time they do that to you, every time they get you excited about something, they collect the prize. That's what we have the word price, which is really referring to the prize. And what is the prize? It's you, your life force. Every time they're able to trigger that life force in you and get you excited, they can increase the prices. Thus, they've got the prize. This is why we use the word charge. Because the way you charge a battery is you plug something in the wall, okay, and you collect energy from it. This is what the economy is doing to you. Every time they arouse your energy, they're able to suck and charge themselves with more of your energy, more of your life force. Now, the reason why you don't recognize it is because you don't consider time, knowledge, skill, capability, and know-how. You don't consider that to be life. You think life is just breathing. No, life is a compilation of things. And it is time, energy, knowledge, skill, and know-how. When you give that up for money, then however much money they take from you is the amount of knowledge, skill, and time that they've taken for you. They've just charged you. They just took away life force from you. This is why insurance companies can actually predict, okay, when you actually going to, take your last breath. What's the age at which the age expectancy of a person to live? And they base their entire pricing around that, so that they really never have to pay you nothing. They call it life insurance. It should be called death insurance, because you got to die just to not get it. So they got this thing summed up mathematically, and you're basically trapped in a containment field, which is a mental containment field that's in your mind. It's in your mind. You believe that this system is real, and because you believe that this system is real, we are all collectively giving it life. And now this system has become so strong that, I mean, we're at a point we all, I mean, it's almost nothing we can do about it. You know, the insanity that's going on this planet is real. You know, people are fighting, protecting, and dying for this system, you know, which is actually sucking the life out of you. You know, I listened to a video the other night of a guy who committed suicide as a result of, you know, coming under stress due to the COVID-19. He just couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel. He ran out of work, was running out of money, didn't believe that, you know, things would change, and he ended up taking his life. And look, that's a result of being dependent on a system and not on yourself. Dependency, codependency creates insanity. Independence produces a healthy mindset and a healthy individual. Independent people are healthy. When you're able to depend on yourself physically, spiritually, emotionally, intellectually, and monetarily, you are considered a strong, physically and mental human being. Dependency and codependency makes you nuts. It makes you crazy. It creates insanity. So all of us in this system are insane at different levels because we're dependent on this system. And as long as you're dependent on this system, you're gonna be just like the guy that committed suicide, just a paycheck away. Just 2 steps of losing your freedom. That's where we are today. If we don't wake the fuck up and take our own lives into our own hands and become independent and less dependent on this system. See, this is a mental game. We're enslaved mentally. We think that somehow we can continue down this road of reality and we're going to just retire and go to some beach and drink coconut drinks with pineapple, you know, on the side. That's not about to happen. That's not going to happen. You've already lost half of your life expectancy as a result of being dependent on the system and having to work for a system and having to put out energy, life force, and time away from the things that you actually love and the people you love and the things that you love, just so you can get a couple bucks at the end of the day. We have to change our entire mindset as to how we look at it. And here is how I look at it from, you know, I had to really work on myself to get to this point. And that is, I had to understand that the way I was evaluating money was creating a sense of restlessness within inside of myself that was causing me to miss out on life. So instead of chasing money, what I decided to do was to cultivate and nurture the value that has always been there with me. Whether it's the knowledge that I have, the people around me, people I love, my talents and things, just focus on nurturing that. And then as a result, money will come. But if you chase money, what you end up doing is relinquishing all of the things that have true value. And like I said before, this is why our planet is in the position it is in. This is why most of us don't see our kids majority of the time. We don't spend time with our wives, our families, things like that. We miss out on everything trying to get that money. And I'm not telling you give up on money, because unfortunately, this is the way our system is built. You need money to get around. What I'm saying is switch it up mentally. Okay, because how you feel on the inside is a result of how you perceive the world externally, and the judgments that you gave to it is what's creating the sensations in your body. So if you think the world externally, okay, has nothing to offer, then it's going to create a sensation in you, which is going to cause you to react a certain kind of way. If you believe you need to chase money to get it, then mentally you're never going to be present, because you're always going to be chasing that money in your mind. You're going to be chasing that next, and it will never be enough. Now, chasing money is what you're really doing is you're trying to do what's called an alchemical process. All right. Money is an alchemical process whereby we take our non-tangible ideas, materialize them into something that then we get paper money for it in exchange. So what we do is we turn our value. We're trying to take our value, our internal value that we have, and turn it into useless paper money. Now, it's easy to find a way to take something useless and make it value. But to take something valuable and make it into nothing is difficult. This is why most of us have such a hard time creating money. Because you need to figure out how you're going to take your precious value and change it in for some valueless paper. And that's the paradox here. So the key is to basically focus on your own value, which is the currency, the life that is flowing within you, the ideas, the talents, the skills. You can be just like the beach. Everyone goes to the beach. The beach doesn't go to anyone. Why do everyone go to the beach? Because the beach has something everyone wants. If you become valuable like the beach, then you don't have to go looking for money. You can enjoy all the time you want with your family, your friends, and do all the things you love, while at the same time acquire abundance. That's what I wanted to share for you today. I hope that helped you during this COVID-19 season. Take care. Peace out.